And the reason people want there to be a spiritual war is the reason they want there to be a devil, to be evil, to be a nefarious force, to be dark forces, to be some reptilians, Anunnaki, devil, Jinn, Illuminati, Bilderberg Group, whatever your bad guy is, whatever your big bad is, whether it's the pharmaceutical industry, it's, military industrial complex. Like I could just go on and on and on and on. The people spraying the chemtrails, the people killing the animals at the factory farm, whatever your big bad is, whoever that is to you, there is no force that is equal to a God force, to a source. There is just all. God is all. But they need an opposition because it's a really fucked up idea to say God is all. God is also in someone who harms children. God is also in somebody who commits genocide. God is also, there's the same amount of God in everybody. It's how aware of it they are. So there is no evil force that like takes over and says like, now I've got you. So now there's demonic forces. No, what is a demonic force? It is inside the self. It is the person's self. And when people forget that they are divine, how do people forget that they're divine? How do they forget that they are a spark of God and the same spark of God as everybody else? It's because they're wounded, they're hurt, they've been neglected, they've been shamed, rejected, shunned. The most evil people in the world have usually been through the hardest things. So they feel unlovable, they feel unworthy, and they become so far from this spark of light that is in every single person and every single thing that they act in a way that they've forgotten who they are. So if you fight evil, you don't stop that. You don't stop that person from being bad, feeling unloved, feeling hurt. This is why unconditional love is the only thing, right? And this is why they say God has unconditional love. This is why they say the universe is only unconditional love. The source, the universe, like whatever you want to call it, is only unconditional love. Because whatever this force is to you, whether it's God, whether it's the universe, whether it's some conscious force, it loves the person who does the worst thing as much as it loves the person who has devoted their whole life to it. That is unconditional love. Loving so much that you can forget who you are, that you can make mistakes, that you can do something without knowing better. This is because we're all one. And there's all these different perspectives of experience. So there's no evil force behind it. It's people who have forgotten that they are light, that they are God, that they are lovable, that they are worthy. What about evil things happening to kids, which is the first thing that people always say? Those people, every single person who does evil things to kids had evil things done to them, have had their spirit broken, have had no sense of love in their life, have made themselves feel so disconnected and so low that they have forgotten that they're just as much of God and love as you are. But our ego needs to separate it. Our ego is like, I can't be the same as that person. That person can't be a part of the same consciousness force that I am. And what's the wound in us? And so, I mean, one of my favorite books is a children's book called The Little Soul in the Sun. And the story is very simple. This little soul, which is a part of God, part of consciousness, becomes aware of himself. And he's like, I am the light. I now know what I am. I am light. And God's like, well, what part of light are you? And it's like, oh, what part of light am I? He's like, well, you could be any part of light that you want to be. What do you want to be? And he's like, oh, I want to be the part of light that is forgiveness. Forgiveness is a great thing. I'm good. I want to be forgiveness. And then God's like, okay, well, what are you going to forgive? And the little soul is like, oh, well, I don't have anything to forgive. Well, damn, how can I be the part of light that is forgiveness? And then another soul comes forward and is like, well, I can help you to be the part of forgiveness, the part of light that is forgiveness, but I'm going to have to forget who I am and become so dense and do something to you that is so unlike me, which is also light, another part of light. It's like, I'm going to have to do something to you to make you forgive something. And what it said, which is the part that always makes me cry when I read it, is it says, but when I go and I make myself dense and I make myself dark to be that thing for you to forgive, please don't forget the way that I am now. Don't forget the light that I am, because I'll become lost and you'll become lost too. And then we'll both become lost. And then another soul is going to have to come and try to help us, remind us that we are both light and that we are both this. So when we cannot see light in everybody, we have also forgot it in ourselves. And when you're reminded of the light that you are, you can see it in everyone and every situation. Does that mean I'm still judgmental as fuck? I still talk shit all the time. I still get super triggered. I still drove my husband crazy all week because I had PMS. Like, I still started problems about nothing. Like, it doesn't mean we're perfect. But if we are, the reason why this us versus them is happening is not, and when we see other people as evil, it's because we have forgotten our own light. And what we're doing is grasping to try to find our own light by saying, well, that's bad, and bad is different than me, and that's how I know I'm good. And that's an evil person, and I need justice on that person, and that person's wrong, and that person's bad, and that's the only way to remember that I'm good. But that's not really feeling what you truly are and feeling God, light, source, who you truly are. Because then you do know it's in everyone. You said, wait till menopause. Oh, Lord. What book is this from? It's from The Little Soul and the Sun by Neil Donald Walsh. And it's the children's book version of Conversations with God. I've been seeing shadow people since age 4. I am now 62 years old and highly developed with a multiple set of skills from heaven. I have literally videotaped my exorcisms and connecting people to their loved ones on the other side of my YouTube channel, which is the same heading as I'm looking for, the live connecting. Okay. Because of my kids, deadbeat dad, I have tried the unconditional love thing for years. I am looking at it now as me holding him accountable is love. I don't know. It's mentally. Okay. So this is the thing here. Let's talk about this. There's a difference between unconditional love and accepting shitty behavior or worse than you deserve, accepting getting walked on, getting taken advantage of. That none of those things are in alignment with unconditional love. Getting taken advantage of, walked on, less than you deserve, not treated right, abused, none of those things are in alignment with unconditional love. We are so far from unconditional love that we actually think that that's means we would need to accept those things. No, 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 no. You can have your boundaries. You can stand up for yourself. But having unconditional love doesn't mean accepting wrong behavior. Obviously, you said this is the father of your children, so you guys are entangled and you guys are connected for the rest of your lives because you have children together. So it's not as easy as just cut off. But unconditional love means this person was once a child, just like we were all once children. And something went wrong along the way that made them this way. something happen that makes them think that what they're doing is the right thing. That them not being there for their kids, not taking proper care, not being what is needed, taking advantage of something went wrong along the way. And to have compassion for, you know what? There is a pure child that wasn't loved right, that didn't get their needs met, that wasn't taken care of properly. Something happened in teenage years, something happened in these years, got hurt, got so hurt that they forgot what being a father should be, what being a parent should be. And I have compassion for that. But you can be like, but dude, pay that child support or I'll take you to court because that's what you and your kids deserve. So having this, it's removing from the anger and the hate and the lower vibration emotions of it. Because again, the vibration is just a scale. So you move away from that and you're like, now do it out of empowerment, out of, well, this is what my kids deserve. And I'm showing my kids how to stand up for themselves.